Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and the Restless official 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Claire's big pregnancy hint. Will Kyle or Holden be the baby daddy? Will Holden Novak or Kyle Abbott be the baby's father, despite Claire Newman's pregnancy hint? Following Kyle's marriage proposal, Claire became quite angry. Claire snapped at Kyle for proposing marriage so quickly and questioned whether he would propose to have a child next. Before realizing he needed to take his attempts to clean up the mess he had created seriously, Kyle joked about with a "not yet." We must, however, take into account the potential that Y&R just revealed a significant hint regarding Claire's impending pregnancy. It seemed a little unusual for Claire to blurt out that baby comment, so this could be the show's way of signaling fans what's to come. Let's think about how things might unfold, since it's probable that Claire is actually developing a pregnant tail. There's a potential that Claire and Holden will end up in bed together because they are about to get wasted. Even if it doesn't occur right now, it might in the near future, particularly if Claire and Holden develop a habit of drinking too much together. Claire needs to remember that drunkenness frequently results in major errors on soap operas. Claire might return to Kyle and have a new secret to keep if she does sleep with Holden because of the shame she feels. Claire might get pregnant and wonder who the father is if she gets back into bed with Kyle. Of course, there's also a chance Claire will stick beside Kyle. Given that Claire isn't expecting a child anytime soon, that could still result in a pregnancy surprise. However, if there was another bio-dad option, it would be much soapier. Depending on where Y&R wants to take all of this, Holden, who has just become close to Claire, may also be a potential baby daddy. Claire Newman has always had a way of keeping Genoa City on its toes, and her recent behavior has fans buzzing about a possible pregnancy, igniting speculation about who the father could be. The show carefully dropped hints, and one particular line she uttered, a seemingly offhand comment about a baby, has audiences scrambling to interpret its meaning. Was it just playful banter, or was it a deliberate foreshadowing? Following Kyle Abbott's impulsive marriage proposal, Claire's reaction was nothing short of explosive. Instead of delight, there was anger, tension, and sharp words. She snapped at Kyle for moving so quickly, questioning whether he was rushing toward a lifelong commitment just to have a child next. Kyle, always the charming yet sometimes clueless suitor, attempted to downplay the intensity of the moment with a half-joking, "not yet," but the humor fell flat. Claire's irritation, however, hinted at something deeper than mere impatience, perhaps an unconscious concern about her future, the choices she's made, and the complicated web of relationships that entangle her. This is a soap opera, after all, where no action exists in a vacuum, and any offhand remark can quickly evolve into a plotline that changes everything. The writers of The Young and the Restless seem to have planted the seed, allowing viewers to ponder the possibility of a pregnancy storyline without explicitly confirming it, creating suspense and anticipation that fuels fan speculation. The situation becomes more complex when considering Holden Novak, who has recently become a fixture in Claire's life. Their interactions have grown increasingly personal, intimate even, which makes the dynamics of any potential pregnancy even more intriguing. Fans have noticed subtle glances, lingering touches, and moments of unexpected vulnerability between Claire and Holden that suggest their connection could evolve into something more, especially if alcohol loosens their inhibitions. In soap opera storytelling, few things are as catalytic as a shared drink leading to an unintended encounter. Claire, despite her intelligence and self-awareness, could easily find herself in a scenario where, in a haze of intoxication, decisions are made she never intended. Such an event could have far-reaching consequences, not just for Claire, but for everyone in her orbit, Kyle, Holden, and even those who believe they have no stake in her love life. The dramatic potential of Claire making a mistake while drinking and later facing the emotional fallout is classic Y&R, a chance for writers to explore guilt, secrecy, and the ripple effects of a single impulsive act. If Claire and Holden do indeed cross that line, the ensuing secrecy could create a tangled web of lies, confusion, and suspense as she navigates her feelings and the social ramifications of her actions. Even without that pivotal encounter with Holden, a pregnancy storyline can thrive. Claire's history with Kyle is rich with romantic tension, unresolved feelings, and complicated circumstances. The possibility of a pregnancy would introduce another layer of conflict into their already fraught relationship. Should Claire discover she is expecting, the question of paternity becomes central. Is it Kyle's child, the result of lingering intimacy between them, or could Holden, due to recent closeness, emerge as a surprise contender? Soap operas thrive on uncertainty, and the ambiguity around a child's father provides endless opportunities for drama. This potential twist could strain Claire and Kyle's relationship in unpredictable ways. Kyle, who has often tried to balance charm with genuine care, might find himself questioning his own role in Claire's life, especially if he suspects that another man could be involved. Meanwhile, Holden, perhaps unaware of the growing stakes, could become entangled in a situation that challenges his morals, loyalty, and emotions, heightening the drama for viewers. The speculation itself, how fans debate, theorize, and anticipate the revelation of the father, becomes part of the show's narrative, a metatextual layer where audience engagement mirrors the suspense unfolding on screen. Beyond just romantic entanglements, a pregnancy storyline allows for the exploration of Claire's personal journey. Her anger at Kyle's proposal, her sharp words, and her cryptic comments about a baby are all symptomatic of deeper fears. Fear of commitment, fear of making irreversible choices, and perhaps a fear of losing control over her own narrative. Pregnancy, in a soap opera context, is never just about a baby. It's a catalyst for character development, forcing individuals to confront hidden insecurities, unspoken desires, and conflicting loyalties. Claire might wrestle with guilt over a potential liaison with Holden, with regret for her impulsive actions, or with anxiety about how Kyle will respond should he learn of any complications. Each of these internal conflicts creates opportunities for nuanced storytelling, allowing the audience to empathize with her struggles while remaining captivated by the unfolding drama. The writers can use these moments to highlight Claire's resilience, her capacity for forgiveness, and the complexity of navigating relationships in the high-stakes world of Genoa City, where every decision reverberates far beyond the immediate consequences. Moreover, the potential father, be it Kyle, Holden, or someone else entirely, shapes the storyline in dramatically different ways. If Kyle is the father, it sets the stage for exploring themes of responsibility, reconciliation, and the rekindling of romance under the shadow of past misunderstandings. A child could act as a bridge, drawing them closer as they confront shared fears and embrace parenthood. Conversely, if Holden is the father, the storyline takes on a much more scandalous edge, exploring betrayal, secrecy, and the tension of a forbidden relationship. The audience is drawn into the suspense, eager to see whether Kyle discovers the truth, how Holden responds to the responsibility, and what moral and emotional dilemmas will unfold. Soap operas are built on such dualities, the choice between comfort and chaos, truth and deception, love and lust, and Claire's potential pregnancy fits perfectly into this tradition. It's a narrative device that can keep viewers engaged for weeks, teasing revelations, heightening tension, and leaving the door open for numerous plot twists that extend beyond the initial pregnancy storyline. Of course, Claire's decisions and circumstances may be influenced by social contexts and her inner circle. Family, friends, and enemies alike will have opinions, advice, and agendas, all of which can complicate matters. Imagine the dramatic possibilities if someone close to Claire, perhaps a trusted confidant, accidentally reveals information about her pregnancy or suggests possibilities that she hadn't considered. Similarly, Kyle or Holden could act on assumptions, leading to misunderstandings and conflicts that intensify the narrative. The interplay between personal desire and social expectation is fertile ground for soap opera storytelling, allowing writers to explore not just romantic intrigue but also issues of loyalty, judgment, and reputation. Claire's pregnancy, whether imminent or just hinted at, is a storytelling tool that can ripple across multiple characters, creating cascading effects that reverberate through Genoa City's interconnected social web. Adding another layer to the suspense is the uncertainty inherent in soap opera timing. Claire may not discover her pregnancy immediately. The tension of waiting, wondering, and fearing the unknown becomes a narrative engine. Even casual interactions, like moments of closeness between her and either Kyle or Holden, are imbued with double meaning, keeping the audience guessing. Any scene could hold a hint, a clue, or a misdirection, prompting fans to theorize and debate with fervor. The anticipation builds, not just for the characters but also for the viewers, as they dissect every glance, touch, or line of dialogue for hints of what's to come. This kind of slow-burn suspense is a hallmark of The Young and the Restless, and Claire's hinted pregnancy is poised to be a textbook example of how careful plotting and subtle foreshadowing can create maximum drama with minimal exposition. As the storyline progresses, writers may also explore the psychological dimensions of Claire's predicament. Her potential pregnancy is a source of introspection, forcing her to weigh desire against consequence, love against duty, and passion against propriety. She may oscillate between honesty and secrecy, between confronting the truth and avoiding it, each decision shaping her character arc in profound ways. The dual potential for a father, Kyle or Holden, provides additional tension, ensuring that each choice carries emotional weight and narrative significance. Claire's navigation of these complex emotions will allow the audience to engage deeply with her journey, empathizing with her fears, cheering for her triumphs, and cringing at her mistakes. Every reaction, from the subtle flush of embarrassment to the overt expression of anger or longing, serves to humanize her, transforming a plot device into a rich, multidimensional character exploration. Ultimately, Claire Newman's hinted pregnancy is more than a simple twist. It is a narrative crucible. It tests relationships, exposes vulnerabilities, and promises a cascade of drama that could reshape the romantic and social dynamics of Genoa City. Whether she ends up with Kyle, Holden, or navigates an even more unexpected path, the storyline holds the potential for scandal, reconciliation, and emotional intensity. Her anger at Kyle's proposal, the cryptic baby comment, and the simmering tension with Holden are all pieces of a larger puzzle, each contributing to the suspense and speculation that define soap opera storytelling. As viewers, we are left on the edge of our seats, analyzing every line, every look, and every choice, fully aware that in the world of The Young and the Restless, nothing is ever as simple as it seems, and every revelation has the power to upend the lives of those we've come to know so intimately. In conclusion, Claire's big pregnancy hint is the perfect storm of romantic uncertainty, dramatic tension, and audience anticipation. It places her at the center of a complex love triangle, where Kyle and Holden are both potential fathers, and where every action she takes can have ripple effects across her relationships and beyond. This storyline allows the show to explore the intricacies of love, responsibility, secrecy, and desire, giving fans countless opportunities to speculate, debate, and invest emotionally in the outcome. Whether she chooses honesty or secrecy, loyalty or passion, the coming episodes promise to be a whirlwind of emotion, intrigue, and suspense, exactly the kind of high-stakes drama that has made The Young and the Restless a beloved fixture of daytime television for decades. Fans are left eagerly waiting, knowing that one small hint, one cryptic comment, or one impulsive decision could change everything. And that's exactly the kind of storytelling magic that keeps soap opera audiences coming back, day after day. As the speculation around Claire's potential pregnancy continues, it's important to consider the broader ramifications on her relationships, both romantic and familial. Claire's world is already complicated. Her feelings for Kyle are tangled with history, unresolved tension, and residual affection, while her growing closeness to Holden introduces new variables that could disrupt her emotional equilibrium. Should she indeed be carrying a child, the stakes are instantly raised. Pregnancy, in a soap opera like The Young and the Restless, is never just about biology. It's a narrative device that can challenge loyalties, reveal hidden agendas, and amplify existing conflicts. For Claire, the prospect of a child could become a lens through which her character's strengths, vulnerabilities, and fears are explored in new, compelling ways. Kyle Abbott's response to Claire's hints and behavior will be particularly telling. He has always been portrayed as a man who balances charm with responsibility, someone who cares deeply for Claire but sometimes misreads her cues or underestimates the complexity of her emotions. Her anger at his impulsive marriage proposal indicates that she is not yet ready to be rushed into life-altering decisions, and a pregnancy, real or hinted at, could complicate matters further. Kyle's reaction could swing between protective concern, jealousy over Holden, and a desire to assert his place in Claire's life, which creates the perfect setup for emotionally charged confrontations. The audience can already imagine the intensity of such scenes, Claire attempting to assert her autonomy, Kyle grappling with the fear of losing her, and Holden inadvertently or intentionally inserting himself into the equation, further muddying the waters. Soap operas thrive on such entanglements, and the triangle between Claire, Kyle, and Holden is ripe for weeks, if not months, of tension-filled storytelling. Meanwhile, Holden Novak's role cannot be understated. His emerging bond with Claire introduces a different kind of energy, one that is less tethered to past history and more grounded in the present moment, characterized by spontaneity, emotional openness, and shared adventures, or misadventures. In the context of a potential pregnancy, Holden becomes a wildcard. His growing affection for Claire could turn protective, possessive, or even conflicted if he suspects that a child might belong to Kyle. The writers have ample room to explore Holden's moral compass, his capacity for patience, and his emotional intelligence, or lack thereof. Will he step back gracefully if Claire leans toward Kyle, or will he act impulsively, revealing secrets, making assumptions, or taking risks that could ignite scandal? In a soap opera, the smallest misstep can snowball into monumental drama, and Holden's role as a possible father creates a tension that resonates with viewers on multiple levels: romantic, ethical, and even familial. Claire's potential pregnancy also offers fertile ground for exploring themes of secrecy and revelation. A child's impending arrival in soap operas rarely remains a private affair for long, and the network of Genoa City characters ensures that news spreads quickly, sometimes through gossip, sometimes through misunderstandings, and sometimes through deliberate manipulation. Claire might confide in a friend or family member, only to have her confidence betrayed, leading to public confrontations and private recriminations. The mystery surrounding the baby's paternity can act as a narrative engine, sustaining suspense as viewers attempt to predict who will ultimately be revealed as the father and how each character will respond. This kind of layered storytelling engages the audience actively, prompting speculation, debate, and investment in the outcome, which is why soap writers often use pregnancy as a central pivot for high-stakes plotlines. From a character development perspective, Claire's potential pregnancy introduces internal conflict as well. She must navigate the emotional terrain of desire, responsibility, and self-preservation. If she has feelings for both Kyle and Holden, the question of paternity becomes entwined with questions of identity and autonomy. How does Claire define herself, as a woman in control of her life, as a partner, or as a mother-to-be? How does she reconcile her past mistakes with present realities and future possibilities? These are the questions that deepen her character, giving audiences a protagonist who is not just reactive but introspective, capable of growth, and compellingly human. Complicating matters further is the external pressure from the Newman and Abbott families, each with their own expectations, histories, and stakes in Claire's romantic life. Victor Newman, for example, is a figure whose approval, or disapproval, can influence the decisions of those around him, particularly his daughter. Will he take a protective stance toward Claire, attempt to steer her away from Holden, or encourage her to pursue a stable relationship with Kyle? Each choice he makes could have ripple effects, escalating tension and drama. Similarly, the Abbott family's dynamics could weigh heavily on Kyle, shaping his approach to Claire, influencing his judgment, and intensifying the emotional stakes. The intersection of family expectations, personal desire, and romantic intrigue creates the perfect storm for dramatic storytelling, with the hinted pregnancy acting as the central catalyst. In addition, the timing of the pregnancy reveal, or even the delayed realization of pregnancy, can heighten suspense. Soap operas often employ delayed confirmation, false alarms, or misleading medical tests to sustain drama over multiple episodes or even months. Claire might experience symptoms, momentary suspicions, or emotional highs and lows that foreshadow the revelation without fully confirming it, keeping the audience invested and guessing. Each scene, every whispered conversation, and each seemingly mundane moment can carry a subtext of anticipation, creating a slow-burn tension that makes the eventual reveal both satisfying and shocking. The strategic pacing of such a plotline ensures that viewers remain emotionally engaged while simultaneously building the narrative complexity that defines the young and the restless. Beyond romance and family, a pregnancy storyline can serve as a platform for exploring the consequences of personal choices in a high-drama context. Claire's potential pregnancy, whether with Kyle or Holden, forces her to confront her own values, priorities, and desires. Will she prioritize love, loyalty, or independence? Will she confront secrets head-on, or attempt to navigate a web of deception to protect herself and those she cares about. Soap operas are particularly adept at highlighting the tension between private decision-making and public consequences, and Claire's situation exemplifies this perfectly. Each choice she makes can catalyze new storylines, introduce unexpected allies or adversaries, and create a domino effect that affects multiple characters simultaneously.